Hey everyone, it's Ollie from Mashup Games, and welcome back to the series where I go through the development of making my first commercial game in Unity. As of now, the game is currently codenamed Fantasy, a medieval fantasy tower defense game where you build your dungeon defenses to fend off waves of heroes. Last video, we had overhauled the whole minion placement to now use cards, made all the entities out of cardboard, added some skeleton bonerang combat, and some small things. And last video, I said that I had an announcement to make if the channel hit 5,000 subscribers, which it did! Thank you all so much for subscribing and showing interest in the channel. And I actually have two announcements to make, but you're all here to see some game development, so I'll leave those announcements until the end of the video. First thing I did was work on a main menu for the game. Right now, it would just load you straight into the game on the build, which is a bit boring. So I whipped up a main menu, which I gotta say looks pretty cool. Right now, the options button does nothing, and the play button just loads you straight into the game scene without any transition. But I like it so far. For the title, I didn't want to straight up make a logo for Fantasy, since the Fantasy name is not set in stone and still up for debate. So instead, I just made this generic logo. The idea here is to have the menu items look like stickers stuck to the cardboard walls, so right now it's not doing the best job of that, but it's all work in progress. Once I got the menu down, I took a break from Fantasy for a bit. I entered Ludum Dare 47 with Yellow Vermandre, in which we made a game about trains, which was a lot of fun, and if you want to find out more then check the link in the description. And after that, I had a couple of interviews and technical tests to do, so I didn't get a lot done with this game for this month. But I have managed to do some noticeable changes to the point where the game is getting a lot closer to a complete state in its most basic form. I was watching a video by Game Dev Guide on how to make a debug console, and I thought that with the amount of playtesting this game will need, a debug console will be very useful. So I did that, but the tutorial used Unity's new input system, which I didn't know how to use. However, the normal input system wasn't working for the debug console I had set up, so I thought, why not, let's try and learn the new input system. This input system makes it a lot easier to set up keyboard and controller controls, but it does take some getting used to, and I'm not sure I'm using it in the right way, but it's working for now. That tends to be a common theme with this series, making something that isn't perfect, but it works for now. I mean, that's not a bad thing. After all, I'm taking the move fast and break things approach, so I don't get stuck fine-tuning the smaller things, but instead I'm trying to get a vertical slice of the game. Nearly everything I've done so far is prone to change, but for now, it works. So right now, when you're in a game, you can press this little dashed thing on your keyboard to open up the debug terminal, which is just a transparent black bar at the bottom. Then you can enter in a command to perform. Right now, the only command I have coded in is spare change, which gives the player 100 coins. But this would be a really helpful tool for debugging when I want to change variables and all that, without having to move around in the inspector. I found, and one or two of you in the comments, that the goblins reacted too quickly to the heroes entering the room. So I added a reaction time to the entity script, which defaults at 0, but you can change the value to make the enemy wait more when a hero enters the room before they start moving towards their target. Now watching things happen in real time is fun and all, but you might get bored watching it just happen. Well, now if you get bored, you can just speed it up. With the speed controller, you can speed up and slow down time to your own liking. Just a small feature, but it can stop people getting so bored with how slowly the game is running that they quit. Now here's a feature that I implemented that I feel may be a controversial one. Normally with tower defense games, you can place towers both between and during waves of enemies, in case your defenses break down and you need to repair it. But what I have done, well, it's different. Before a round, you can place minions and everything around the place. But once you start the round, well, your card deck disappears and you can't place any more minions. Some of you may not understand why I've done this, but let me try to explain. When I want people to be building their dungeon defenses, I want them to properly think ahead and try to strategize for the upcoming waves, instead of just pressing start and placing minions down as they go. Probably the thing I see being a problem with this design choice is that once a player starts a round, they can't do anything except watch the gameplay unfold, which is a bit of a problem if their heroes completely break down the defenses, then the player cannot do anything to stop their impending doom. The main reason why I don't want the player to be placing minions during the round is because I want the player to be doing something else. Introducing a new aspect of the game, player actions. These haven't been implemented yet, but in short the player will be able to do certain things in the rounds that can boost their defenses or attack the heroes. Things like temporarily boosting the attack power of a minion, or activating pitfall traps in rooms, or setting a hero on fire. There would be more things to introduce, but for now that's the general gist of it, and hopefully next video you'll be able to see it actually implemented. I decided to add a nice transition for the camera that will be able to move between menus. For example, all the rooms will be in the same place but all disabled except for the current one. If you activate going to another room, for example clicking the options button, then the camera will rotate out the room. Then the current room is disabled and the next room enabled, and the camera spins back round into the next room. Looks pretty cool, and it means I can easily customize each room to show different things without being too messy. And the last thing I did this month was add a boss monster. Yes, the thing a lot of you have been probably waiting for, you can now have a boss monster at the end of the dungeon to be a last line of defense. Later down the line you'll be able to choose which boss monster to have, so it can give different buffs to different minions and all that. But for now you've got, well, basically a large goblin, but purple. This was just put together for proof of concept, and there will be proper work done into the boss monsters and their attack patterns later, but it works. And when the boss monster dies, well, it just loads you back into the main menu. And that's about all I've done so far. Now onto the first announcement. I was going to make a whole video on this, but decided against it because due to the context of the video, I thought it may have come across the wrong way. But Mashup Games now has a Patreon. If you want to support the channel in a more giving way, then check out the tiers I have, as I think I'm offering some things there that would make it worth the money. Of course, if you don't have any money, don't worry, there are always free ways of supporting the channel, such as liking and sharing this video, and subscribing if you aren't already, and leaving a comment down below to let the YouTube algorithm know I'm someone worth watching. And now, the second announcement. Last video, I said that I was aiming to have a video out by the end of this month, but I didn't want to rush out a demo if it wasn't right. And I can say that though a demo won't be coming out now, I'll be opening up playtesting. Once I feel like the game is in a good enough state to be played, I will open it up to a playtesting group for them to playtest and garner feedback from. So it gets rid of the need for me to rush out a demo, and it means that when the demo comes out, it will be a more realised version of what I want the final game to be like. I'll be inviting some friends to playtest it, but I will also be opening the playtesting to you all. So if you're interested in helping with playtesting, then make sure to join the server in the link below. Before you do, be aware that to be a playtester, you have to be active in the server by giving bug reports and giving ideas and suggestions. If you just want to play the game, then I recommend you wait until the demo is out, which will likely be in December or January. But that's it for now. If you've liked this video, then please like and subscribe. This is Mashup Games, signing out.